name is Biavati-Smith and I'm a speech and language therapist. You will find a lot of the news and blogs on my website www.wordsteps.co.uk. Today I wanted to talk to you about bilingualism, and one of the things that as a speech and language therapist I find myself in situations where a lot of families write to me asking me why their child who's bilingual, now maybe aged 2 to 2.5, is not yet speaking. So today I want to clarify what does that mean, and actually really to clarify for a lot of speech and language therapist colleagues and other professionals of advice that it's relevant and is actually updated. Learning two languages does not contribute to a child language delay. In other words, the research has confirmed that growing up in a bilingual home does not make a child's language delay worse. Actually, an expert now believes that simultaneous exposure to more than one language is beneficial to a child. Based on current studies, 2016 actually, even children that have Down syndrome or autism, compared to the monolingual peers, they will develop more than one language. So one of the advice that was given before was in front of a child with a language delay, it was said use one language, stop using two languages. Please, that is just not true at all. There is really not any research that is showing that if your child is exposed to two languages, that is going to create a greater difficulty. Or actually, by reducing from two languages to one language, your child is then miraculously going to speak that language really well. I always say that if a child has a specific language delay, has got a developmental language disorder or a phonological disorder, he or she will have it in both languages, and it's not that the two languages will cause any difficulties. The other advice that was given in the past is when you speak, translate what you're saying. So you will say la casa è grande, the house is big. Vuoi qualcosa da mangiare? Would you like something to eat? That's very unhelpful. The child's brain will be able to pick up exactly what you're saying. You don't really need to translate anything you say. However, I often say, let's play a game, and then I have another video about let's play with two languages, but that's very, very different. It's kind of exposing your child and making sure that your child knows that what mummy says and what daddy says and how he says it, but that will be on another video that you'll find. Another thing is that when you play with your child, play with the language of your heart. So if you're Spanish, speak Spanish. If you're Italian, speak Italian. If you're English, if you're British, speak English. If that is your first language, speak the language of your heart. Don't translate. Don't try to speak a language that is not yours. It just feels quite unnatural. Another thing that we would suggest is really for a child that has two languages and is showing some delays, just to use the advice that we would always use, reduce the amount of sentence, the amount of words that you use in a sentence. Don't say the bus over there is big and red, can we go and catch it? If your child is using two words, you should say the bus is big, the bus is red. Give your child time to listen to what you're saying and to process language, and use repetition. So really one of the main messages that I want you to take away from this video today is that being bilingual or multilingual will not make your child delayed. A red flag is a red flag. If your child has a delay, it will have a delay in one language or in two languages. A child that is 2, 2.5, 3 would have a certain amount of words and will be starting to link words together. How it does it is a different video that I've put on switching and mixing. However, if a monolingual child has 50 words, a bilingual child, roughly of the same age, would roughly have the same amount of words, maybe in both languages, or in both languages combined. But it's very rare that a monolingual will have 100 words and a bilingual of the same age would have 1 word. That's a red flag anyway, and it would be a red flag if that child would be monolingual. So if you're a parent, enjoy speaking your own language, and if you're married to a partner that speaks another language, yes, be a multicultural families. And for professionals, stop now and start using the most accurate advice that we give to parents. And yes, it's hard bringing a child bilingual, but it brings a lot of satisfaction. And as Professor Antonella Sorace from the Edinburgh University would say, it really helps cognition. And there are so many papers and research regarding how it actually expands the brain function. So have fun and continue learning more than one language. If you need more information, or if you want to post your views, please do so underneath. Or again, look at my website www.wordsteps.co.uk, or come and find me on Facebook at Edinburgh Speech and Language Therapy at WordSteps. Hope to hear from you soon. Bye bye just now.